welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be setting up the next week in my Hobonichi Weeks, and we are starting the 6th of January this week. So I've been making a few changes in what I initially wanted in the planner, so I'm going to talk about some of those changes now and how I'm going to move with them into the coming weeks. So the first thing is I have now more or less set up my 2025 year overview, and I'm going to use this page for my quarterly tracking and also for holidays and vacations. So because I'm a teacher, I have several weeks off during the year, so I'm going to highlight those so I know when I'm off. I can also, one of my goals this year is to take more breaks and holidays when I have them from my teaching, so I'm going to use this as a guide to help me plan those breaks a bit better. And so I've used these join dot pens from Midori. They're okay. I'm not a big fan of the colors, and I'm also not a big fan of the fact that they seem to bleed through the pages. So as you can see here, they've started to bleed through on my opening kind of like cover page, so they don't do too well with the Hobonichi paper. I don't know if this has always been the case. I think it's because we've switched to a new kind of paper this year. So we have our quarterly, and we also have my vacations and holidays, and then I think I'm also going to plan out when I'm going to take my breaks in this year, but I'll do that a little later on. In this first quarter I kind of had some very clear breaks, so that's easy for me to see. Okay, and then if we move into the months, I've been playing around, into the year overview. I've been playing around with some ideas here. Luckily, I bought some kind of white washi tape, which I've been using to kind of cover over any mistakes I make. But I think I've settled on this being kind of my menstruation cycle tracker. And there's a few things on here that I want to keep track of. So I'm noticing that my moods are really tied to my cycle. So I'm going to just keep track of that and see how that is going over the month. And so I'm using a yellow for happy and a blue for sad, and I'm just making a dot each day. I kind of come to this at the end of the day and think, was I happy, sad, was there any kind of big mood swings happening today? I'm also highlighting when my predicted stages of my cycle are going to be, and then also when I have my period and when that's predicted in, so I can take a quick kind of overview look of this, and hopefully over the year I will have a kind of clear picture of my cycles, patterns and anything like that. There's also some things I'm experimenting with this month too, which I'm hoping will help to make my cycles a bit more even. So I'm a little overweight, I'm looking to lose a little weight, and I'm experimenting with fasting. So I'm writing down my fasting hours here each day, and I do have a set schedule for the fasting, and I'm just going to see if this helps me, helps my moods, helps my cycles a little. I'm also curious to see if it's easier, if I'm really going to struggle with my fasting in the second half of my cycle, because I get very, very hungry. So I have set up I was going to use this originally as a habit tracker, but I've moved that to my monthly, and I've set up here my happy, my sad, and I've got some different colors here. I'm going to see what else I could use these for, and I'm going to think about that as I work through this planner. Onto my monthlies. I have these little post-it notes. I've just been sticking them in to help me remember what I'm using, how I'm using each page, especially as I'm kind of coming back to returning to planning and thinking about the best ways to use my planners, and any ideas I come up with, things that I'm tracking, projects, things like that, I like to just kind of put a little note to myself and start to see how ways I can implement it. So onto my monthly, I just kept it kind of simple. I decided here that I'm going to use this for my habits now. So I've been keeping track of kind of 6 areas that I want to work on, and writing in the habits here. This week has been particularly disruptive as I've basically moved back to Bulgaria. I have my visa sorted now and I need to sort out my residency, and we're still kind of in the holidays, but I'm hoping as we move into the month this will be easier. I'm keeping track of any appointments, my habits, and kind of general tasks that I want to do. So Mondays are kind of my businessy day, Tuesdays are different parts of my freelance work that I do, and then I have a little teaching every day. So lots of things to keep track of, but I prefer to kind of bundle in tasks into each separate day. On to my dailies now, my weeklies rather. These have evolved quite a bit. I've been experimenting with a few different things. I didn't really keep up with my sleep tracker, so that's not something I'm going to continue. And cleaning, this was really helpful. I was doing a lot of house sitting in November, December, so it was really important for me to have a cleaning schedule very clearly laid out. And I was keeping a running to-do list. I'm going to keep doing this in my planner. This week, again, I started off well, but we're kind of heading into some travel, and I was kind of settling back into a new country and also taking some break from work as well. So there are some things here I want to keep when I move into my next week. So for example, I'm learning Bulgarian at the moment, and I want to keep track of any new understandings or learnings through the day, any new words or letters that I keep messing up that I want to work on. I really like splitting this. Instead of splitting it into 3, I'm just going to split it into 2. I'm going to have this side for my general tasks and appointments, and then this side for things that I actually completed that day, so I can see how my work is going. I'm going to keep my next actions to-do list running down here, and I'm going to keep my Bulgarian here. I'm also working on some journaling as well, and so I pulled out a prompt this week that I did not complete or write or journal about at all. So I'm going to work on that this week. The question was, this time next year, what 3 things would you like to be doing less of? And so I'm going to keep thinking about that this week. I like putting it at the top so it's kind of front and center of my mind. So I did complete quite a few things last week, but not everything. So I'm going to carry over like bullet journaling, carry over my tasks that I did not complete, and then I will be reviewing my projects list, writing out any next actions that I think I can get started with, and writing in my work and what I'm going to be doing this week. So let's plan. Okay, and I think I'm set. I'm going to write out my question. Alright, and I think I'm set up. I have my appointments and my general tasks that I want to complete here, and I will kind of do a rundown at the end of the day to review what I actually did complete, and then I can reflect on that. And then I have a space to practice what I learned with Bulgarian, and I have my next actions set up. These are leftovers from the week before, and anything else that comes up during the week, I will write them here, and anything that turns into a project, I will move over to my projects list at the back of my book, and anything that I complete or need to move, I will move that as well, put it into a particular file. So that's my setup for this week. That's how I'm using my Hobonichi Weeks so far. Let me know if you have any questions, or whether you're doing something similar, or you have any ideas for ways I could be doing things a bit more efficiently and better. Thanks for watching.